Ahoy mateys, this is BrickBeard. Today again with Ally Scallywag here to help me on something super special. We got our hands on an early copy of the F.R.I.E.N.D.S Apartments. Let's review this thing. Here we have the completed model, set 10292, the F.R.I.E.N.D.S Apartments. So we spent a way too long night to get this done in time and get it out as fast as possible. The set officially releases at 1st of June, but I got my hands on an early VIP copy from Lego itself, which is super nice and I'm super happy about that. So yeah, we went really all in on getting this thing done in time, but I really enjoyed the whole experience. How about you?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. First of all, because we also built it together and we could talk about all the references that we could find in the details.
Well, that you could find because...
Well, that I could find. They have a lot of details. And some of them actually are hard to guess.
Yeah.
Which... it was very fun for me as a game. Minifigures are really nice, and also how the sets go from one room to another is really cool. Yeah.
So before we go really into the reviewing of this set, let's look at some of the background information. This comes with 2,048 pieces, so it's I think like almost double the size of Central Perk. Central Perk, of course, was one of these rooms, and this is two and a hallway, so you can see that it stretches like almost across the entire table. So this set is huge, 2,048 pieces. And it retails for $150 or 150, 160 euros, depending on your region. Unfortunately, we in the Netherlands nowadays pay a bit more for our Lego sets, which is a shame, but so be it. So it comes down to 7 to 8 cents per piece. It was designed by Anders and Ward Grupp, and I know that he designed the flower bouquet, but other than that, I'm not completely sure what he also designed. But looking at this guy has a lot of experience in designing sets, because it's just an amazing piece that we have in front of us. But again, we're going to start with the reviewing, and we're going to start with the minifigures again. The first minifigure in this set is Joey Tribbiani, and compared to his Central Perk version, he is wearing a lot more colorful clothes, like everything has different colors and a red scarf.
Yeah, that's actually all Chandler's wardrobe. They had an argument one time and he literally put on all his clothes.
Alright, so that's why it looks like a bit of a mashup of a lot of different clothes, but it looks really cool and fun actually. Other than that, the minifigure is printed really nicely, a lot of details. He has multiple ties printed on his shirt. Even his legs have a nice print on it. And his face is also double printed with a huge smile on one side and a small smirk on the other. Next up is Chandler Bing, and he is wearing some more formal clothes with only his tie is pretty colorful. No print on the legs, but the torso print is super nice. He has a double-sided face print with a big smile on one side and his eyes closed, and on the other side a small smirk.
He has a really nice accessory that took me a while to figure out what it refers to. He has a ticket in his hand, and considering Janice is also in the series, I'm guessing the ticket is for him to go to Yemen.
The third minifigure is Rachel Green, and her minifigure really stands out because of the print on her torso and her legs. There is this pattern printed on both of them, and it looks super nice. Also, her shoes have a print on it, and compared to the Central Perk version, she looks a lot happier here. She looked a bit mean in that one, and here she has a smile on both sides of the face, and her hair looks a lot different being in a ponytail.
Yeah, I also really like it more than the Central Perk version.
Then we have Ross Geller. He is without a doubt my least favorite minifigure in this set, because his printing is just not really nice. He has no prints on his legs. His shirt is just grey with a small shirt print on it. He has the same hairpiece as we saw in Central Perk. And also his face print doesn't have a lot of expression. He's recognizable, but it doesn't really stand out compared to the other minifigures.
Yes, I agree, but he is recognizable, especially due to his facial expression.
Apart from all the friends, we also get a minifigure for Janice, which was, I believe, Chandler's girlfriend.
Yes, on and off.
And this minifigure really stands out compared to the others. Her printing is really nice. She has some really nice golden colored legs that go well with the rest of the minifigure. The torso print is just super nice looking with the panther jaguar print on it. And the best part about this minifigure is, I think, the hairpiece, because it looks absolutely beautiful.
And also her facial expressions are quite funny. You can see on one side her laughing, so of course you can already hear in your head her annoying laugh, and on the other side her being surprised, because those are the two facial expressions that she had the most in the show. And also the handbag gives it a bit of personality.
Then we have Monica Geller, and this minifigure is also, I think, an improvement over the one in Central Park. She has a full body print, so on the torso and on the legs, and the backside of the torso print has a really cool sweater pattern on it. She has a little whisk as an accessory, and her facial expressions are very different. On one side she's smiling, and on the other side she looks annoyed.
Probably because somebody left crumbs on the sofa. I really like this minifigure. It's a bit better than the one from Central Park.
Then there's Phoebe Buffet, and for me this minifigure is a downgrade from the one we saw in Central Park, mostly because of the hairpiece that for me just doesn't really seem to fit the character. Her torso print is okay, it has some paint splatters on it, but the legs also don't have a print on it at all. Her facial expression is one side surprised and the other side smiling, but this minifigure just doesn't do it for me personally.
She has the brush in her hand, and probably because she made a masterpiece called Gladys.
Talking about Gladys, here she is, and it's not a full minifigure, it's only half, and to me it's really weird looking. I have no clue what it's supposed to be in the show, but it just looks really awkward and weird, so I think that's intentional.
Definitely that is intentional. It's Phoebe's art. She created this beautiful masterpiece for her friend.
Those are all the minifigures this set comes with. 7.5 if you count Gladys, the half minifigure that we get in there. So what did you think of the minifigure selection? What rating would you give it?
I would give it a 10.
A 10, right out of the gate, a 10.
Yes.
All right.
They resemble the characters, and they have a great surprise called Janice.
Yeah.
I really like the character and how it's portrayed. We did already review the minifigure, so I will not go into that.
No, I agree. Janice is, I think, the best minifigure in this bunch. She just has everything works out perfectly, although she's not as well known as the other characters. This really looks like an amazing minifigure. And I really like Joey with the very colorful and vibrant clothing that he has. So for you, a 10 out of 10?
Yes.
For me, it's going to be an 8 out of 10. I think in general, the selection is better than in Central Park. They just look more fun, more happy, more smiles on the faces. The only two minifigures that I really don't like that much are Phoebe. I think that just doesn't resemble the character enough for me, at least as I would imagine her. And Ross is a bit boring, but so is he in the show, right? So, yeah. So for me, it's going to be an 8 out of 10. For you, a 10 out of 10. Then on to building experience. Is it okay if I start with the building experience? So a good thing to know about the set is actually it consists of 3 separate elements. So you have one apartment, the second apartment, and you have the hallway. So that means there is a pretty interesting technique used in building these sets. Again, as with Central Park, it's all based on the ground floor, and there are some elements that you can take off, just like it was in the Central Park set, which is really nice for the playability, and you can take the characters out, and it's also, just like Central Park, made to look like a studio with the studio lights on the outside. And overall, the building experience of this, although it might look like there's a lot of walls going on that look like just straight up building, it's not like that at all. There is so many stuff hidden in details in there and connected with all the elements, and the building experience is just really, really, really nice on this set.
I really enjoyed it. It's a big set. It took us quite a lot of time to build it, and it has more pieces than with the Central Park set. and also the building experience itself, because you also have the big parts, right, and also the mini parts in the
and all the detailing.
Yeah. That was really cool. I really liked it. So 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I agree with you on that. Building experience for me as well, a 10 out of 10. This is an amazing set to build. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Then we come down to playability, and for the people that watched the previous video about Central Perk, they know that I rated Central Perk 5 out of 10 on playability. I don't think that set really delivered on that regard, although it is mostly aimed at adults. This also aimed at 18 plus, but the playability they improved a lot. There is so much stuff going on this set that you can move around, play around with, and just the improvement is absolutely great that they did here. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Especially Chandler and Joey flipping in their chairs.
Yeah.
That's a very well-known moment in the sitcom.
Yeah, and, yeah, that's a really cool play function.
Yeah, and I think in this set it's mostly about role-playing, because you have all the elements from the sitcom, so you can definitely start moving things around, as you mentioned earlier. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. So for me, playability this time, last time it was a 5 out of 10 for Central Perk. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 this time, which is really good for an 18 plus set, because usually they don't have a lot of playability at all.
Yeah.
And for you?
10 out of 10.
Another 10 out of 10. So that's 3 10 out of 10s.
Yes, but for me as a fan, and it's something I explain in, for Central Perk, I play differently with
of course. I get it.
You look at functionalities, but I really look
more
at
characters
and
role playing in that sense. Okay, nice. Good. Another 10 out of 10 for you.
Yeah.
Then we're coming to display value, and you want to start this off, display value. I think this is really something that you have something to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I am quite enthusiastic about the display. I mentioned earlier the details are quite nice, and this is definitely something I would just keep in my house and look at it and play with it. I love the little balcony in the back, where you have this to spy on ugly naked guy. I also like the colors are quite well known. Of course, the really well known door here of Monica and Rachel, and all in all the basic well-known details in the show are there. Yeah,
and in display value, it's mostly in the details here, because for me, and the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because compared to Central Perk, if you look at it at first glance, it might look a bit more neutral with just 2 main colors that you have. So the tan on this side and the purple on this side. It looks a bit more neutral than Central Perk. Central Perk I think that catches the eye a bit more.
Yeah.
But overall, at the moment you start really looking at the set and all the details, this beats Central Perk easily. So that's why I was a bit in between in rating it. But for me, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 in display value.
Okay. Can you guess what my rating is?
A 1 out of 10.
No, it's 10 out of 10.
Again, 10 out of 10, of course. No, but I think this set deserves it. On display value, it's really, truly incredible what they did here. And as I said, the only downside is that it might look from the first glance a bit of the same colors, not that much variety. But other than that, they nailed it with this set.
Yeah.
And then we're coming to parts. So with over 2,000 parts, it's only logical that there's a lot of different stuff in there. But there are a couple of things that I really want to mention, and that is, first of all, the canoe that we get in here. That is a set that is super rare, that we haven't seen for a long time, if I am correct. We even have a chicken and a bird or a duck.
Yes.
A chicken and a duck piece in there. We get a white dog that I think only has ever been printed in Dalmatian color, yet never saw it in white.
Pat the dog, it's called.
Oh, it's called Pat the Dog. I thought you wanted me to pet the dog. Okay, good. And then we have this foosball table with some microfigs in there. a turkey, and just some really cool, unique parts. Also the cat on the back of the balcony here. But in part selection, although there is a lot of the same stuff to build up the walls and the floors, all the little things that they added in this really makes the part selection super interesting, even if you're just looking at parts and not at the set itself.
And they had a lot of stickers as well.
That's true, but for me that's a downside. Usually there are some printed elements, like on the couch over here, the pillows are printed, some notes, little 2x1 tiles are printed. But there are a lot of stickers in the set, and that is for me a real downside, because stickers, first of all, you have to be really good at sticking them, otherwise your set looks completely horrible if you mess it up. And second of all, over time, stickers tend to deteriorate faster. So that's why for me stickers is a real downside, and I think for most collectors like me. So for me that took some points off, actually, the stickers. I always prefer the elements that have something printed on it to be printed and not stickered.
Yeah. I personally like them.
Yeah.
Because at one point in the set you get to choose what kind of sticker to
That's
put
true.
On the
On the door,
notepad,
yeah.
on the door.
Yeah, so that means that we have some stickers left that we didn't use that you could place on some of the doors, which we didn't do yet or might not even do at all.
Yeah.
But for me, part selection also, it's great in this set, and I'm going to give it another 9 out of 10. Let me guess.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I feel it. I feel a trend here. I'm going to have a guess at the next rating you're going to give.
Okay.
Which is for value for money. Value for money. So this set compared to the Central Perk, and I know I'm doing a lot of comparing to Central Perk, but that is what this set is. Without Central Perk, this would have never existed. It sold so well. There was so much people wanted that set, and it was super popular. Without that set existing or doing well, this would have never been created. So it's only fair, I think, to compare it to Central Perk in that regard.
And that was a fan set.
That was a fan-made set that Lego designed or redesigned by themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think they had a bit more freedom to throw in more references and details in this than they had sticking on to the design made by the fan designer.
Yeah.
So I think they had some more room to really make it something that is super interesting, not only for fans but also for Lego builders in general. And I think they did an amazing job at that. But to come back at the value for money, so this is compared to Central Perk. That was 5 to 6 cents per piece. This is 7 to 8 cents per piece. So it is a pretty big difference. Mm-hmm. But still, considering that a lot of sets, especially licensed sets like F.R.I.E.N.D.S, can go up to 10 cents per piece. This is still a pretty good deal. It's absolutely not bad. 150 to 160 for 2,000 over 2,000 pieces. It's still a really good deal, and that's why I am rating value for money a 7 out of 10.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It depends a lot on how big of a fan you are, so you can get a set. For me, it was a bit pricey.
Yeah.
So I will rate it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, a 9 out of 10. So we do get something different than the 10 out of 10s. Well, then we come to the overall score, which doesn't make a difference for you, 9 out of 10, because this set just gets a full out 10 out of 10 for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's amazing, of course, and I get why you're rating it that, especially from where you're coming compared to where I'm coming from. For me, overall, it came down to an 8 out of 10. For Central Perk, it was, I think it was a 7.5 that we bumped up to 8, but this is like over an 8 on average, because it's just an amazing set. So that means if we combine our two ratings, we come down to a 9 out of 10 again. Yes. To be fair, in Central Perk, it was actually an 8.5 that we bumped up. This is on average a 9 and just a 9. So this is on the scale a bit higher, I think, than Central Perk. But of course, for any fans, Lego fans or F.R.I.E.N.D.S fans, the best combination, of course, is to have this and Central Perk, all of them combined, and create a long display piece to have everything they ever released in the F.R.I.E.N.D.S line.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, I will quickly grab Central Perk and present it next to this. One moment. So let's put this on this side. I think that fits the best. All right. So here we have all 3 of the sets combined, Central Perk together with the apartments, and just look at it. They made it even like it's completely level, and the camera lights, the studio lights make it seem like they really belong together. And if you have the money and you didn't already get this one, I can only advise you to really try and get these. So especially the apartments that got a bit of a higher score, but both of these, and they work incredibly well together. So really glad we got a chance to get these and get them this quickly. And that's it for today. So keep an eye out for this set. At the moment it's only available for VIP, LEGO VIP customers, but it will be available for everybody on the 1st of June. And that's it for today. Thanks to Ally Scallywag for helping me again with rating this more from a fan of the show's perspective. And we will need to find another way to do collaborations like this, because all the Friends sets are done.
We will find something.
Okay, good. And of course, to close everything off, thank you guys for watching again. If you like this, please like and subscribe, leave a comment on this video, let us know what you think about this and the collaboration that we are doing. And then we will see you in the next video.